Okay, so this is diary day number 1 for our journey alive. As many of you know, I am the creator, the writer, and director for this reality series that's going to follow 4 abuse survivors in their journey of life after abuse. And I'm going to be doing a daily diary leading up to our premiere on November 1st at the Hypnodrome in Waco. And I just wrapped up an interview with the Wacoan magazine. And one of the questions that he asked me, which really sparked something in me, and I should have like an already pre-planned answer, and I don't. And he said, so why a reality show? Why a series? Why not just do a documentary and be done? And my first answer was, I didn't want a documentary that was kind of like a testament of a standstill in time, because this is our journey, this is our everyday. But the other reason I did a series is because I really wanted to showcase my feeling about having a me when I was growing up. And I say that genuinely, and I say it when I first started being molested at the age of 9 at the hands of my father, and wishing I had a me. That was in the late 80s, early 90s. Both of my parents were on dealing with drugs and battling alcohol. And, I sit back and I just say, man, I wish I had a me. I wish I had someone that could tell me that despite everything, I'm still beautiful, that I'm valuable, that I'm worth something. I wish I had a me before the abuse. I wish I had a me even after the abuse started. I wish I had a me when he died and my mother totally dove into drugs to try to cover up her pain. I wish I had a me before I was sold for drugs. I wish I had a me before I gave my body up time and time again, not thinking that it was worth something or valuable. I wish I had a me before becoming somebody's punching bag. I wish I had a me before becoming just fresh meat for the idle eye to see. I wish I had a me before entering into relationships that took so much of me that it took me until my 30s to actually finally come to grips with what I had been with and not blame myself for, but acknowledge the fact that I can no longer be silent, or I can no longer be quiet because I may hurt somebody's feelings, because it's about them, or they had a role to play in my pain and in my abuse, or being afraid that someone from my past may come up. But again, I had to really realize that so much of who I was at that moment was because I never had a me. I was never able to see a survivor. I didn't really understand that what I had been through wasn't natural nor normal, given the fact that I was the only child at the time. I didn't have a lot of family around growing up. My parents didn't go to church, so there was no spiritual compass. There was no me knowing it is wrong. It was what I was being told at that moment is, this is how you show love, this is how you show respect, and you do what men are supposed to do, and literally compartmentalize sex. Like, sex means nothing. I can have sex and keep moving. It wasn't like I attribute having sex with some value or some sacredness or something that should be afforded to the one that is the one, but not for me. I have the memories of my father being drunk and high, coming home when I'm in middle school, abusing me and then beating me and telling me, you're a slut, you ain't never gonna be nothing, you ain't about nothing, and I'm gonna screw you like I screwed your mother last night. Like, my childhood of people that I see were always of people that abused me. And so I wanted to do something. When I finally found my voice, when I finally realized that it's not okay, that a lot of decisions that I make are as a result of that 9-year-old, that 10-year-old, that 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 on up that did not have a me, I won't shut up. And it's amazing how many more women and men that you come across that have endured the same things, but they're not in a place in their life where they can come out or where they've seen enough of us. What you do see is men in the headlines primarily, because women do abuse men, but you see men in the headlines at Stanford and Indiana that get a little slap on the wrist because we don't want to harm their future, what they may become or what they can do. But yet every time you hear about a victim, well, why didn't she come out right away? Why was she there in the first place? Why was she drinking? Didn't she know better? No, didn't he know that it's not okay to rape somebody that's unconscious, to rape somebody that's drunk? Did he not know it was okay not to beat and bruise this person, not to manipulate verbally or emotionally this person? Why is it that it always has to be us that's afraid to come out because of how people will treat us? Why can't it be that we have issues, that we deal with PTSD? Like, it was traumatic to where something that happened to me last year at a church sparked it to where here I am all over again at 35, reliving what happened when I was 9, 10, 11, and through my adolescent years. Why is it we see them, but we don't see us? So I wanted to create a forum where you see us, where you see the pain that we deal with 10, 20, 30 years later, because we still may have the physical wounds or the emotional wounds from what we went through. I wanted you to see that we can laugh again, that we can thrive again, but that it's okay if you have those moments that you feel weak in the knees, and that it's okay that everybody's not going to understand or appreciate your journey, but there's others like myself, like Carolyn, like Courtney, like Siobhan, that can understand what it means to be verbally abused, what it means to be emotionally manipulated, what it means to be controlled and ostracized from your family and your friends, what it means to be beaten and still feel like you can't get out because nobody else will love you the same, to know what it feels like to be sexually abused, to know what it feels like to where your body is no more than a washed up rag and you don't even love yourself enough to realize you need to stop allowing men to use you, what it feels like when you're in a same-sex relationship, regardless of how anyone feels about it. Abuse is abuse and it's not okay. You will understand that there is a group of us that realize it's important for our stories to be told, for our raw emotions to be told, for even going in as a parent. Like, I'm a parent of a son. I love him, yet I abhor who he is. Like, how do you deal with that contrast? Someone who is the result of a rape that becomes the same and very essence of everything that you speak against. How do you live with that? A lot of people deal with that. A lot of people deal with juggling the fact that you have to love something that you don't like. A lot of people have to deal with the fact of, how do I love myself enough to know that one day I can be in a healthy relationship? How do I even get in a healthy relationship? I've never been exposed to a healthy relationship. My parents, I'm 9 and 10 years old watching my mom crack a cast iron skillet on my father's head, crack his skull while he's beating her up like a man, and I'm running out with a broom trying to break him up. I don't know what a healthy relationship looked like. I got parents that were on drugs, that were alcoholics. I don't know. So how do I exhibit that? The only thing that I see is on TV. TV ain't real. So how do I know when I finally get into relationships that I shouldn't have a build-a-bear spirit? That I don't need to be building up men, that they need to be men already, and I support that so that they can pour into me and I'm not empty by the time I get through. This is going to be something that can expose everything that we've been dealing with, that we can be transparent, that we can put it all out there to let people know you're not alone. And that real love doesn't hurt. Real love doesn't abuse you or mentally manipulate you. Real love will love you unconditionally, will continue to fill you up and build you up. Real love will do that. Real love will let you know even when you don't feel beautiful, you are beautiful. They will be able to see beyond any physical attributes or scars that you have and see your heart and know that it is real and that you are worth everything that you get. Real love will let you know that even in the tough times, we'll get through this together, but that you respect me enough and you love me enough not to manipulate me, not to cheat on me, to be loyal to me, even in the midst of my own emotional distress. Real love will understand and respect that journey. So I'm really hoping that our vulnerability and us being transparent will help somebody to know you're not alone, but together as sisters and brothers, as survivors of any type of abuse, you can live. It's not your fault. No one has the right to abuse you. And that's what our Journey Alive is about. To show that there is life after abuse. That you're not alone. Enough is enough. And if you are in something, to get loud and to get out. That there are resources available for you to live again. We're living testimonies of getting out before it's too late to get out. Too many we have lost to this epidemic. And we know that over 10 million people in America, men and women combined, have been abused, have been raped in America alone. This is not just a one-off. If you haven't endured it, you know someone who has. And so I'm asking in my day one diary, support this work. I notice whenever I post things about sexual abuse or the fight that I have with domestic violence, I barely get response. But I can post something that's frou-frou and not about serious and life and death, and you get all the support in the world. So again, just think about this being someone you know or someone you love that you've either lost to this or that you know have endured it. And support the work. Support us being able to tell our stories. And if you are a survivor, reach out. We are looking to expand our cast. We want to add more survivors. We want to do a survivors tour and travel the U.S., bringing inspiration through song and through motivational speaking to several thousand survivors. So this is a little bit. This is your sassy crusader, Miss Sophia, introducing herself in day one. Tomorrow I will come and talk a little bit about what you can expect to see in the show. Thank you, and I'm signing off.